This is the Radeon HD 5870, released in September 2009 for the price of £350 in the UK. According to a review by TechRadar in 2009, it was the fastest single graphics card ever, with moderate power consumption. The graphics card did not just rival the GTX 285 when it was released, it destroyed it. The HD 5870 was the same price as the 285, however it beat the 285 in almost everything thanks to the fact that it had 750 million more transistors than the 285, 6.7 times the number of shaders while having a smaller die size. I got this graphics card through a bid on eBay for £25, and there are many others being sold for similar prices, but is it good enough to run any modern games? First is CSGO at high settings. I'm playing a bot game and it performed way better than I expected. The 1GB of VRAM didn't seem to cause many issues, despite the single fan cooler and the 190W TDP. The HD 5870 was pretty good temperature throughout the time that I benchmarked it, and the fan wasn't loud at any point. The FPS would be slightly higher if I wasn't recording, so expect results of about 1 to 4% higher if you got this graphics card for yourself. Next is Rainbow Six Siege at 1080p lower settings. The game still warned that the 1GB of VRAM wasn't enough, and there was a constant reminder at the top left saying I had an unsupported video driver, even though I had the latest drivers from 2016. I forgot to record the stats like the minimum and average frame rate, but overall the game felt okay at 30fps with no stutter going far below that. I then changed the resolution down to 25%, which is 960 by 540, and the game moved to about 50 to 60 FPS with minimal stutter. And this is what I'd play on if I wanted to use this graphics card with Rainbow Six Siege. Next is Titanfall 2 at custom settings, which are mostly low. These are the settings that the game automatically chose, and the game is at full 1080p. In the training area, I was getting 70 to 100 FPS, but I expect that in the actual game it will be much closer to 50 to 60 FPS at these settings. I did record the average, max and minimum, but they didn't seem right, as they were all around 30 FPS, however the game felt smooth and the stats at the top left never went below 60. Rust ran alright at mostly low settings, with some textures increased. This is a creative world, so the actual game will run slightly worse at around 40 to 50 FPS. Overall there were few dips, but this is Rust. If you're using this graphics card and playing on a large map with other people around you, then the game will feel stuttery and run pretty badly. Inside a building, the frame rate won't change dramatically, and it'll stay pretty sturdy. Apex Legends ran at 30 FPS on the lowest setting, 1080p. The game eventually crashed due to an engine error, which I think is caused by not enough VRAM. When I tried to play the game in 8K with 1660 Super, the same thing happened. I later relaunched the game at 720p, but the same crash happened. Team Fortress 2 ran very well at max settings. It seems weird, but the game runs smoother on this graphics card than my 1660 Super, which gets around 80 FPS. To test this, I played the game on a 1660 Super, as well on the HD 5870, and the results were, well, weird. The HD 5870 performed better than the 1660 Super. The map that the 1660 Super was rendering did seem slightly more complex, but still, the 1660 Super is 11 years newer. This weird trend also seemed to be followed in Minecraft. But before that, thank you to Norman Brown Jr. for subscribing. I'm going to be thanking everyone who's subscribed to me and made it public from now until my next video. I then tried Minecraft with shaders, and to my surprise, the game actually ran. I was using Optifine on max settings with shaders on, and for some reason the HD 5870 ran the shaders better than the 1660 Super. I'm not sure why or how, but it could be due to the fact that the HD 5870 actually has more shaders than the 1660 Super. So, if you just want to play Minecraft with shaders, then the 5870 should be your choice. Valorant ran well at lower settings, 1080p. It ran at above 100 FPS and would run even better if you wanted to play in a low resolution, at 4x3 for example. This is a deathmatch, meaning the game will run better in an actual game, as in deathmatch there are a lot more other players, that the game needs to render. Increasing the settings would make the game look better, but it would also change the FPS to around 60 to 80 if you wanted to play on high settings. I then decided to do the unimaginable. I tried to play VR. Of course, I couldn't even get the headset to show an image, and instead I got a warning that the drivers were out of date and that the DisplayPort connector wasn't the correct generation. Okay, so now we've seen how well it performs in different games, but should you buy one? In my opinion, yes. If you want to be able to play games on your PC while you wait for your graphics card that'll run games better, then yes, this is a great option that doesn't use too much power. It's cheap and can still run modern games at 1080p, or maybe if you're on a tight budget and want something that'll just run CSGO, Valorant, and some other games. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.